Kuzuzampu and a very warm welcome. You are watching Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine with me, Sangeeta. Our top stories this week. His Majesty the King granted land Kidu to over 2,000 beneficiaries from Thimphu. His Holiness the Khenpo presided over the first ever Punakha Melam Chemo. And a nationwide cleaning campaign held to mark 10 years of His Majesty's reign. Coinciding with the auspicious anniversary of the 10th year of His Majesty's reign, His Majesty the King granted land Kidu to 2,703 beneficiaries from 8 kioks in Thimphu at the Semtokazong.
The recipients residing in the rural parts of Thimphu received over 800 acres of land as Kidu. With Thimphu Zongkak, land Kidu has been granted in 15 districts across the country. A nationwide cadastral resurvey was conducted by the National Land Commission upon the royal command of His Majesty the King and was completed in 2008. The survey, conducted with the most advanced technology available, was used to identify land issues which were resolved with His Majesty's Kidu. His Majesty has granted over 130,000 acres of land as Kidu to over 100,000 people across the country so far. Tandon Finso for BBS News.
Over 30,000 devotees from across the country turned up to receive blessings from His Holiness the Khenpo during the final day of the first ever Punakha Melam Chemo. His Holiness the Khenpo also appointed 3 new lam.
His Holiness administered Cherizi and Sepamewan to thousands in attendance. His Holiness the Khenpo also appointed 3 new lams. Lam Lhaptsiri is the new lam of Changangkha Lakha in Thimphu. Lam Kile will now serve in Dejipo Lakha in Thimphu. And Lam Kinza Doji is the new Zimchu Ome lam in Talo in Punakha. For the first time, His Holiness also awarded Ngalu Kerim Menga certificates to 32 monks from Punakha Lekshi Jungne Shadra yesterday.
Tichu Machara Pinakha Zonkagi Melam Chimbo Guto Tangba Tichugi Lodina Jitsu Begovigi Tenda Sodera Tangachara Mwangada Rimbuchi Situgu Pepdibe Te Tichugi Lodigi Te Tilo Chukuigi Tui Mebala Tanigi Cutting Jidin Zumchibe Te Taringachara Tilo Chukuigi Nim Sisunda Chikabeshina Pinakagi Melam Chimbo de Te Taritu Nado Oseshunila.
A mass cleaning was also held during the 7-day Melam Chemo yesterday. For Komal Kharka, this is Sunam Pem for BBS News.
Bhutanese across the country took part in a mass cleaning campaign to mark the 10th anniversary of His Majesty's accession to the Golden Throne. Prime Minister Sring Topge led the campaign in Thimphu.
Prime Minister joined volunteers along the streets of Thimphu to clean the areas. He extended his helping hand and encouraged volunteers for their untiring service. Luncheon also met with people and advocated them to keep the surrounding clean.
Longo Jutam Lamigi Lamna Dedigibe Nachigi Hotole Gakap Santo Janidi, that Puchabe, the Mr. Karagi, Mioncholu, that Puchabe, the David Noxatando Sashunin, the Peilbe, Kingilabigi Gakapdi, the Nacharagi, Muanga the Mochegi, no Luyumi, Pendant to be Gakapdi, Duiten Chang, Santo Tobe Jasubachin, uneven, the Nacharagi, the Pucha. Namisami Lejimo, the Shuni.
Rolanche, Mabongi, Anasme Chembe, Chatagi, Ledimner Haro, Konragi, and Elue Maziva, Kamlo Hilo Mazvaro, David, Mr. Petin Chip, Menano, Yevakipman.
A spin, the drum Musla, Ani the Tem take a cake of Isla, and Tem take a Machiavelli, Top Shawme.
Happy with people's effort today, Prime Minister said we should continue to keep our country clean. Prime Minister said the government has planned solutions to keep the country clean. Sona Penjo BBS News.
The waste management rules will be implemented strictly and the defaulters will be penalized. Prime Minister said this during the nationwide cleaning campaign and sensitization program in the capital.
Culminating the cleaning campaign, people gathered at the Clock Tower Square. The Prime Minister said the amount of various penalties might be increased if people continue to violate the rules.
Doma sabe chema tamidi, chema le midi. Tedile doma saudalu chini mame no digibe, chini ka no sa te chamidi. Anigiya nyeja turu jachi po se shuni. Aniya te nabugi chemka chana. Te dizumbe nyeja chi chapda mabemedi te ngacharagi mimang zomnigi tenlu duten sisongi golden tap beshimle sisong golden tap sashimle chada machabachin digi nyejadi tonta ngai se shuni.
The Prime Minister and Agriculture Minister also launched Bhutan State of Park Report and This SOP, a guide to use This service. Meanwhile, more than 100 truckloads of waste were collected yesterday in Thimphu. According to Thimphu Tromde, such cleaning campaign will be held every month now. Chenga Doji for BBS News.
The Jhabdrung's exhibition at the Royal Textile Academy has been open to public for more than 3 months now, but very less people are visiting the exhibition. Today, we take you to the exhibition to get a glimpse of sacred relics that once belonged to Jhabdrunga Namgyal and some of his reincarnations. The ongoing exhibition titled Jhabdrunga Namgyal, the founding father of Bhutan, opened in September.
The exhibition boasts of 24 different artifacts on display. The exhibition showcases the history of Jhabdrung and his lineage through sacred relics and thangka that includes Jhabdrung's statue, prayer beads, religious scriptures, and a horse tooth believed to be from Jhabdrung's horse. This statue of Jhabdrung was brought from Charoga Haga in Wandifoda and is said to be molded out of rice offered by hostess Zompa Chungmo while departing from Charoga. And in return, Jhabdrung gave this set of doji and tivu to the hostess. It is believed that Jhabdrung brought it from Ralung in Tibet. Prayer beads of Jhabdrung was brought from Semtokazon. This thangka of Jhabdrung with his 2 principal disciples, Umje Tenzin Drugel, the first Desi of Bhutan, and Drungwa Tamche Gelsen are also on public display. It is kept at Tashiga Gempa in Thimphu today. The artifacts were collected from Gasa, Wandifoda, and Semtokazon. Some of them are private collections. It will be returned after the exhibition in March. Jhabdrung came to Bhutan in 1616. He travelled through Gasa and reached Thimphu from Lingji. He established Bhutan as an independent sovereign nation by unifying the country under one leadership and introduced a new system of governance. For Sonam Chodin, this is Kipchu for BBS News.
In an effort to break the sedentary lifestyle of the nuns at Zulukha Nunnery in Thimphu, Health Ministry started Arabic classes. Aerobics is a form of physical exercise that strengthens heart rates, improves flexibilities and muscular strength. According to health officials, lack of physical activity is the cause for increasing trend of high blood pressure and diabetes in the monastic institutions.
The nuns stretched and moved to the rhythm of music and changed their contemplative and composed lifestyle today. The nuns welcomed the initiative of having Arabic classes once a week, which will give them a break from their cloistered lives.
We are interested in such an activity, and today, when the trainer is here teaching us, we are thankful. Through such activity, we can keep ourselves healthy. If we do not exercise, it affects our body, leading to different kind of disease.
We are
happy that we got this opportunity to do aerobics. There are many benefits of doing an exercise. For example, for me, I have many diseases. If we exercise regularly or even once a week, it is going to benefit us in leading a healthy lifestyle.
According to the trainer, nuns and monks neglect their health as a result of leading a confined life.
We carried out a survey in monastic institutions regarding their health and found that most of them have high blood pressure and diabetes. In these institutions, what happens is they eat but do not exercise.
This initiative will reach all the monastic institutions to make nuns and monks aware on the importance of staying fit. Sunampem for BBS News.
Electric fencing has eased the lives of many farmers in remote parts of the country. But when only some have access to this facility, wild animals are creating havoc in the fields without the electric fence. And this is exactly what is happening in Shinyer in Bhutan. Our reporter Sujaman Thapa said only 21 of 47 households have their fields protected from wild boars.
30-year-old Tashiwangdi helps his friend to load potatoes. His friend enjoyed a bountiful harvest this season, thanks to electric fencing. But deep inside, Tashi is a worried man. His potato yield decreased drastically and it is the main cash crop for the farmers. He is yet to receive electric fencing.
When some areas are fenced, wild boars target fields without electric fence. It is difficult to guard our fields. The ordinary fence does not stand a chance against the wild boars. I could not harvest potatoes in the last 2 seasons.
Some 21 households in Shinyer received electric fencing from Frumshingla National Park earlier this year.
It is not that the park is not going to give the electric fence. They could not give it to everyone within 1 year. However, the park manager has promised to provide the remaining households with electric fence by this year.
Over 15 kilometers of electric fence were installed in the village, and some are eagerly waiting to use this facility to keep wild boars from raiding crops and increase agricultural produce. For Sujaman Thapa, this is Sunampem for BBS News.
From building a fort in the backyard to just staring at the buck walking on the sidewalk, unstructured time gives children an opportunity to explore their inner and outer worlds. Early childhood care and development officials say that children should therefore be allowed to get bored so that they can develop their innate ability to be creative.
When children are kept busy with lessons and structured activity, they forget to explore and pursue where their interest leads them. The constant stimulation of today's reality makes arriving at stillness challenging for a lot of kids. These days, there are screens everywhere.
Like learning from the cell phone or from the tablets, and that doesn't have the much meaningful impact on the child's thinking and progression as a in his development. While as if the child is engagement with a real person, or engagement in a play, or engagement in a environment where of his interest, in which the child has been engaged through all the involvement of his 5 sensory organs. The child is actually sensing touching the things, and then get a actual sense of that particular things, whereby he can feel it. So that would have a long-term memory, impact.
She added that when children are bored, it stirs creativity in their minds. Children need to sit in their own boredom for the world to become quiet enough to hear them. Only then, children explore, interact, and learn new things as simple as inventing rules for a game, which leaves a positive impact on the child's brain development.
The child thinking about what he or she should do is actually more meaningful for the child in terms of his or her own learning. The role of the parent is actually to create a meaningful environment for the child, because if we do not do that, then the child will tend to engage more with electronic gadgets. It's important that parents create the environment for the child to explore, to play, and also learn in many ways.
The next time parents hear the words "I'm bored," they should do nothing. And as their child's mind becomes quiet, they will see how their internal sense takes over to create and do and conquer. And then watch as they grow into confident, capable, driven young people. Kilayongden for BBS News.
That's all we have for you this week. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.